George made some interesting comments in his postgame after Game 3, and he said he's going to continue to get lost in the game. Yeah, you lost all right, because nobody can find you. Nobody can find you right now. And Paul George has to take ownership. He has to be more accountable of himself. He has to look himself in the mirror. Kawhi is doing what he's supposed to do. I never questioned Kawhi Leonard. That was never my question. I always questioned what was we going to get out of Paul George. And it's showing right now. And I get it, right? You have bad shooting nights. It happens. It happens to the best of them in the league where they're not performing on the offensive end. But the Clippers have enough firepower that if Paul George is not performing like he's supposed to, that they could still put up big numbers. Now, if I'm Paul George, a franchise guy, a maxed out guy, how I'm going to insert myself into this series? I'm going to insert myself by saying I'm one of the best defenders in this league at the wing position. We have a problem with stopping a 21-year-old stud in Luka Doncic. I'm going to take ownership and I'm going to lock him up. I'm going to pressure him 94 feet. I'm going to get into him. He's not going to be able to smell the ball because I don't have it going offensively. When you watch Kawhi Leonard in Game 3, he wasn't waiting on Paul George. He wasn't waiting on anybody. He came out with the attack mindset on the offensive end. Same thing he did in Game 4. We can't ask Kawhi to do everything. Excuse me, that's why you have a duo. Paul George got to hold his weight. And even if he's not scoring, Lou Will had 36. Like I said, they have enough firepower. But if I'm PG, I'm going to insert myself by playing on the defensive end and taking on the responsibility and saying, no, Doc, I'm not going to put Morris on Luka. I'm going to guard Luka for the entire game.
Okay, what I'm saying to you is this. I think you're absolutely right offensively. But I'm not letting Kawhi Leonard off the hook in switching and being allowed to get picked off from guarding Luka Doncic. Are you doing that? Are you saying that? Listen, I have no problem with Paul George or Kawhi Leonard guarding Luka Doncic. I understand because they both are stalwart defensive players. But the flip side to it is that everybody and their mother knew that that ball was going to be in Luka's hands for that last play. How the hell do you let yourself get switched off and for Reggie Jackson to end up on Luka? I mean, are you saying that you're not mentioning Kawhi for that?
No. I'm not saying that, Stephen A. Because look, we all look at what happened in the last play and we say that's what cost them the game, and rightfully so. But it was a first quarter, it was a second quarter, it was a third quarter, it was a fourth quarter. Luka didn't score his 40+ in that last possession. He had 40+ throughout the game. And when you watch the game, it was the Morris twin that was taking on the responsibility of picking him up full court. Paul George should take that on. That's all I'm saying. Kawhi should have switched out? Absolutely. Just like LeBron did when they played the Clippers the start of the bubble, when he guarded Kawhi and switched out on PG and then let him get a shot. Kawhi should have done that. He know that. I think Kawhi, you could tell in his body language in his post-game interview. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is throughout the course of the game, PG don't have it going. The Clippers have enough firepower offensively that PG, you can insert yourself because you're one of the elite defenders in the wing position in the league, and y'all have a problem with a 21-year-old killer in Luka Doncic. Take on the responsibility.
Look, Paul George saying he wants to lose himself in the game is both why he's great and the problem with Paul George. He wants to make the right basketball play and everything, but sometimes, and he's a very good team player because of that, but sometimes you got to impose yourself. So I agree with you, Perk. Paul George could get it going, at least on the defensive side, especially when you have a guy like Lou Williams who totally has that mentality, who sometimes might not make the perfect basketball play, but damn it, he's feeling it, and his team needs the buckets, so he'll go get it. But you have that guy on your team. So look, as I said, Pascal Siakam, given the way he played in the playoffs last year, at this moment is holding on to him instead of trading him for Paul George. That's making Masai look smart at this moment.
All right. I'll leave you all with this. Paul George is the first player to shoot below 25% in 3 straight playoff games since Bob Cousy. That was before we were all born, just to put this in context of how bad it's been for him right now.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.